Go. All right. So, welcome everybody. Welcome, Dar. How are you, mate? It's good to see you again.
I am doing good. Can we just all agree? Look how handsome Gary is. I am just so jealous, right? Here
Mate,
I
this is
am over
AI.
here.
This is AI. I
Is
just
it?
came back from
Okay.
Mexico.
I got to get one of those.
No, this is the real. This is the real thing, the real me, mate. But thank you. Appreciate that, mate.
Yeah, of course.
You're a good looking fella yourself, mate. I think we're kicking around the same age as well, aren't we?
We are. I'm 57.
57. All right, mate. Well, you got a couple of years on me, mate. But we're good looking humans, mate.
There we go.
Um, but thank you so much for coming in today. I mean, this is really cool, and these are the these are the cool stories, right? We do these and we share tools and awesome things that people should use and inspiring stories. And I think you have one of the coolest and probably the most one of the most well-known stories in the high level sphere of like starting to scaling to selling a seven-figure
Yeah.
SaaS agency, which is kind of, I guess, that's the dream, or that's the goal for a lot of people, right? Um,
Yeah.
but you didn't have it easy on the journey there, and we want to kind of
Yeah.
talk about that today, about what that journey was like for you, because you had a real pivot in your working life, so to speak, from going from selling custom motorbikes to learning about SaaS. And
Yeah.
then I'd love to hear more about the journey because I've seen the highlights, right? And we all
And
see
make
the
one edible?
highlights as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
like out
oh,
of things that are edible.
I'm just going to mute. I'm not sure who that is. Michael, I'm going to mute you there,
I'll
mate.
even bring up some things to show you all while you're talking.
Yeah, that would be awesome, mate. But
Um,
look, we really want to hear, we love to see the awesome outputs, but I think it's inspiring for people as well to know the journey that you have to go along to get through that scaling to selling along the way. So you went from shifting from building motorcycles, and then figuring out like a simple model. And then we're going to
yeah.
talk about like why this is now a really good time for people to launch their agency as well. Like there's people see there's lots of people out there doing this. There's 130,000 people now, I think, in the high level
Sure.
community, people signing up every day, but it's not too late, right? It is not too late. There's still
You're
plenty of
right.
time to go. So
Absolutely.
just give us the beginnings of as well on what made the change for you, or what you were doing actually. So you were let's go right back actually. Sorry, you were
Hmm.
selling motorbikes, like custom motorcycles, right?
Building
And
them from the ground up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I've seen a few of them. They look pretty impressive.
So, and funny, I don't have any screens to share, but I don't know if you can see my camera. Like
I can.
we built a few hundred bikes over the years, right? And they're just on and on and on and on. I'll just pick out a few. Like here I am. Let me see if I can make this a little brighter. Here I am with one of in fact, this particular bike was for the personal trainer of Ludacris, who ended up being a friend. Um, this is one of my bikes that we sent to our dealer in Shanghai. Yeah, there's, all kinds of bikes, and it was really cool. But oh, look here. Oh, it went away. Tim Allen, the Toolman, Tim Toolman?
Yeah,
I built
Tim
the
the
bike
Tool
for
Man,
him.
more power.
Yeah, more power. Where the hell? I just saw it pop up. Oh, I think I'm getting close. Hold on, I'll show you this and then okay, here it is. And he was a great guy too. Great, great guy. So here I am at Tim's place in Los Angeles. I built that bike for him and took it out there. But here's the thing, and so just to give people an idea, we on the outside, we looked like we were, killing it. I was on magazine covers and had, in fact, I was on a couple of TV shows, almost had our own TV show on the Discovery Channel. We won the World Championships of custom bike building twice and had bikes all over the world. But I was broke. Like it was such a bad formula. And each time we would do something, I'm like, this is it. This is the thing that's gonna like get us the steady cash flow. Like built a bike for Toby Keith, and he wanted to be a business partner with us, the singer. That didn't work out, but I'm like, oh, that's gonna do it. Built a bike for Tim Allen and Usher, and I thought this is gonna do it. And it just kind of got us a little bit further. But what it came down to was I didn't have the right formula because as cool as the bikes were, overhead outpaced production, right?
Mm,
That's why the SaaS business model is amazing because I had a business model. where I had a 5,000 square foot shop that I had to pay for, lease rent. I had $500,000 in inventory that I had to carry. I had 4 or 5 employees that were high paid skilled workers. I had general liability insurance that was $26,000 a year. Like all this stuff, travel insurance and all around the country, these bikes. And then when someone would come to me to build a custom bike for them, every bike is custom. And so the stuff that would come in, the stuff we had in inventory was standard stuff, brake lines, batteries, things like that. But the custom part of it, like you want these kind of wheels and this kind of motor and this kind of transmission and this kind of front end and this kind of sheet metal and paint job, all that stuff was just in time. And so even if we had a well-oiled machine, I had to order from 40 different vendors and wait for those parts to come in. And when they came in, then we'd have to build the bike. But overhead came every month, right?
Yeah.
Paying that overhead. And so we just got ourselves in a pretty deep hole where overhead had far exceeded our output production, no matter how popular I was in the bike building industry. So I got to a point where my previous home that I lived in had we had a foreclosure notice on it. 18 years of living there, and I had 3 house payments behind, and they were like, "We're coming for your house." And so I had to take a full-time job with another company that allowed me to work remote and still work from my shop. As long as I got my stuff done for them, then I could still like save my bike business best I could. So all the employees left, and it was just me and my wife at the shop, and me working a full-time job out of my shop. And so I started thinking I've got to do something different because the current formula doesn't work. And so I thought, well, we have this pedigree, so to speak, for winning these world championships and the various things. I'm going to design motorcycle parts, and then I'm going to have those manufactured, and I'm going to sell them to people who like to customize their Harley Davidsons. And so that's what I started doing.
Oh, you-
And from the bank and go have these parts manufactured, and then they come back into my warehouse, and I would get orders and I would pack them and ship them. And it was me, by the way, full-time job, um, nights and weekends packing and shipping these parts. And this is an example. This is one of my parts. This is one of my foot pegs. I'm very proud of that we did. And I sold a lot of parts to the distributors, but the margin was so small for me because they needed like 60% margin so they could make money and the dealers they would sell them to could make margin. And I was just turning dollars, right?
mm,
So so I started getting curious about how I could sell these online myself. And I just start, watching videos like we all do. And I found Russell Brunson's stuff, right? His .com secrets. And so I got .com secrets and I got ClickFunnels and but I'll tell you this, I'm not a quick technical learner. I got to do things over and over. And sometimes I'll get stuck and you know, there are a lot of people on this call that are smarter than me. I assure you that. And so I got ClickFunnels and I got stuck. And we had it for about 6 months. I didn't do anything with it. But I had my funnel hacker shirt, right? And I was listening to the recordings and all that stuff. And my wife is like looking at our bills and she was like, "You got to cancel that ClickFunnels." It was $100 a month. And I was like, "But I've got my funnel hacker shirt." She was like, "You have a $600 shirt," right? She was like, "Figure it out or I'll cancel it. Like you have 1 week." So I'm like, okay. So I like really get in there and I'm looking at the whatever help docs they had at the time and like really trying to figure it out. And I did my first free plus shipping offer. And I'm like, "All right, babe, get ready. Here it comes." But I didn't run ads. I didn't do any of that stuff. And I just like let my community know at the time, Facebook community. And actually, there weren't even communities. It was just on my Facebook page. And she was like, "Well, don't get your hopes up too high. You might like sell 10 or 12 things Because at that point, we were doing like one order a day on our Shopify store that I also had built myself. Didn't know what I was doing. I did the one plus, free plus shipping offer, and we sold 12 parts like in the first 5 minutes. We just blew it out. It completely changed my mind. Like it was a shift at that point. Sold out of all the inventory, had to turn the funnel off. And then I'm like, that's when it really clicked for me. I'm like, whoa, this really works. But then as I'm doing that, like I'm cussing under my breath because I'm like, guess who has to pack and ship all those parts? It's me, man. And so like I'm packing and shipping all these parts while I'm doing this full-time job while I'm still trying to learn these new skills. And so yeah, I mean, maybe I could take a breath a minute. I mean, I could just keep
What
going and tell you the
what
whole
you're saying
story.
here, like this is reminding me of like it's completely different business, but this sounds like so many agency owners out there that are doing all the things trying to please all the people. It's all
Yeah,
custom. They don't have a system in place, don't have a specific product to sell. And you were kind of
yeah,
going down that path with your motorbike bike shop. It's because it's all custom. So everything's difficult, right? Because
yep,
exactly what you said, it's the same thing. So I think there's a lot of relation to that, to what people are doing in their agencies out there that haven't kind of figured out like what's my product, what's my niche, what's my service,
yeah,
my how do I systemize and streamline it? You know, you were going through those exact same problems, but in a completely different business. And then you had
right,
that little shift and went to online. And
yeah.
you would have maximized your audience then as well, because you've got way bigger reach as well. Like, I mean, there's only so many custom bikes that you can make, right?
You're correct. You're correct. And so we had we were digging ourselves out of the hole, and
Mm,
actually we're like back to break even. We didn't owe anybody money, but we weren't making any money. And COVID came along. Now, at this point, I had started reading the next book in the series, which is Expert Secrets about selling information. And, the analogy is, and I think Russell used it in his book, which was like sell people instructions on how to make a potato gun, right? Or potato shoot a gun or whatever, or sell instructions on how to build a birdhouse. I'm like, I just had this epiphany, like I can sell stuff that people find of value that I don't have to inventory. I don't have to have $500,000 of inventory and pay for a building, pay for the parts, blah, blah, blah. Right. And what is the cost to fulfill? Well, it's click a button as opposed to buy the aluminum, take it to the machine shop, have them machine it, like all those things. So I
mm,
had this like, oh, okay. So COVID had come along and everyone was, if you remember back then, like in the beginning of COVID, everyone was like scared. What's going to happen? We don't all know. And everything was like shutting down. And the craftsman that built my motorcycle seats for me, custom leather guy, does beautiful leather work, um, handbags and duffel bags and all kinds of stuff. Well, he was like, man, I'm going to have to shut down. Like, customers. And I said, build face masks. Like you have the equipment, you have sewing machines, you have the laser cutters, you have like you know how to do it. Do that. And he said, but I wouldn't know who would I sell them to. He said, let's partner up. He said, I'll manufacture them. You do whatever you do to sell them. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And so in one weekend, we went down to his shop. We designed a face mask. I wish I had one here. I do have one, but who knows where they are. We designed the face mask, shot video of it, some pictures. I built a landing page, and then on Monday started running ads. And I just ran ads to 5 major cities like Dallas and Los Angeles and I don't know, I think I did like Philadelphia or somewhere like that. And I just like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna do $100 a day on each of these. And my wife was like, "What?" I'm like, I just, I just
spend $100 a day on ads, you mean?
right.
That was
So
your
five
commitment.
hundred bucks,
Yep.
5 cities right then, and
Yep.
and it was wild because and I didn't know what I was doing. I had just taken, I think it was a Dan Henry ads course
Mm.
way back when. Anyhow, the long and short of it is, in just over 4 weeks, we did $105,000 in face mask sales. all made right here in Oklahoma City. And man, that the ads would come in and we would pack and ship them. So he would make them in his shop. They would bring them over to our shop. And we had moved out all the bike lifts for building the bikes and set up tables for packing up these face masks and just shipping them out. And so then Facebook put it like there were a lot of people being scammed with the face masks. So they just shut down any advertising for face masks. So we had like a 4.5 week run of it. And but the money that I got from that, like my half of it, I'm like, okay, we're closing the bike business. Oh, and I missed a step. When I was doing the before that happened, I was like I said super imposter syndrome and didn't feel like I was an expert in any of this. So I was doing free work for other people, right? So like a lesson for anyone who's watching this, who's like just getting started. What should I charge? What should this and that? Like you need to put in the reps,
Yeah.
deliver value, right? Which will put you in the right position where when the opportunity comes along, you can really seize it. Um, People aren't going to want to pay you if you can't convince them that you know what you're doing. So the guy I was telling you, the personal trainer for Ludacris, he was a fitness guy. He was like, I want to do a fitness thing, and but I'm with Luda. We fly around the world to the Fast and Furious premieres and this and that. And he's like, I can't train other people. I'm like, I'll build an online training membership thing for you, right? And so I was honing my skills, learning how to do funnel pages and automations and all that with him. Then my accountant, I did some stuff with my accountant. Like, okay, we can do some stuff to help you notify people when they have to file their stuff and all that stuff. And so my chiropractor, who had become a friend, I was, telling him of the different things I'm doing. He said, the stuff you're doing for the accountant and the stuff you're doing for the fitness guy, could you do that for me? It's like, sure. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Build a website, build some automations, texting for appointment reminders. He goes, man, this is great. I know some other chiropractors who would like this. How about we team up?
Was
50-50.
this in high level at this point? Had you found high level
This
now that you were
this
doing
was
it in, or
in
you
high level at this
okay?
point.
So
Yeah, yeah.
you've
So
ramped it. Yep.
actually, the move to high level was actually when the chiropractor said, I want to do two-way texting appointment reminders. And that wasn't available in
Yeah.
ClickFunnels. So I found high level. But I was still doing it like on the side while all this was going on. So now we have COVID. I've sold the face masks. I have my part of the money, and I'm like, I'm gonna go all in on this because now I have a business partner. So
You
oddly
got
enough,
a bit of
when
momentum,
we
a
yeah,
bit of
yeah,
proof of concept of stuff as well, right?
proof of concept.
Yeah.
So little that I know, and Dr. Mike's a great guy. He's still my friend. But when he was like, let's go in 50-50, basically he introduced me to a chiropractor friend of his who had a community of chiropractors. And I was like, let me just do it for free for you. I'll build your website. I'll do all your stuff. I'll give it to you for free. If you find any value in it at all, I would just appreciate you telling your community. And if you tell your community, I'll give you a little piece of it if they sign up, and I'll give them a discount for signing up under you, right? Giving you status, increasing your status, right? And and that's where it really kicked off. And so then it's 10, 15, 20, they just started growing. So, but I did a lot of work for free before that, just
Yeah, I
putting in
think
the reps.
you've really highlighted there as well, because this is something I get asked this quite a lot of people. They say, how should I start? What do I need to do? And my advice to people is like, go and find three businesses or friendly people that you know who've got a business, and go and
Yeah.
find a problem they've got and solve that problem for them for free. And then once
Yep.
you've solved it, get a case study and a testimonial from them. Now you know what problem to solve, and now you can go and sell it to other people, right? And I think you've highlighted that really well there, that you weren't afraid to do stuff for free. Like
Yeah.
you always had that mindset of like, okay, I need to give value before I'm going to get value back, right? That's what I was kind of hearing through all of that stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, the people that and I've coached a lot of people now in high level because the ascent was grew the business to several hundred chiropractors, and then sold it for seven figures. That's like the quick story. And since then, over the years, I've coached other high level agencies on how to grow and scale and their SaaS business. And here's the people. There are like three kind of categories of people:
Mhm.
two that I see make it, and one that I see don't. Um, First people that are going to make it are the people who already have some sort of an agency. Maybe they build websites, they do lead gen, they do something like that. Um, but they need an additional component to help with monthly recurring revenue, right? So not chasing the next website to build. They're adding complementary things like in the world today, AI voice, obviously, and so forth. So those companies already like know they how to run a business, they know how to go get clients, they're going to make it. Then you've got people like me that had no choice but to make it. Like my back was against the wall and I just wasn't going to give up. That was it, really. There's smarter people out there than me. I just kept going. Just refused no matter what roadblock happened. I just like had to find a way. Didn't get anyone's snapshot. Didn't get any like, what are you going to give me if I use your affiliate link? Just dug in, read the help docs, watched the video, and figured it out. And then got around people that were farther along than me, like Matt DeCino, right? Like
Yeah.
Alex Slinsky, to learn from them. Now here's the group that doesn't make it. It's the people who are like, I'm gonna side hustle this, uh, and just. But if I don't get clients in the first month, because I can't pay my high level bill, then I'm gonna quit, right? I tell those people, if you're just in it month by month and you're like, if I don't do it in 2 months, I'm out, then don't even start. Like just straight hard talk. Like this is a business. It's an amazing business, but you have to view it like a business. When I had my bike business, motorcycle business, I had to go to the bank with a business plan. I had to put my house up for collateral on that business plan
Mhm.
to get the loan, to then and then go find a building and sign a 2-year lease on that building, right? Hire employees, do all these things before I ever sold a damn thing, right? I'm like hundreds of thousands of dollars in it with my house on the line. Right? So when you come in a high level or any business like this, you can't treat it as I'm gonna try this for a couple months. Just don't do it. Like
Yeah. Got to
like you have to
commit fully, right?
commit. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do this for at least 6 months. I'm going to do it at least for you because there is a learning curve. But once you get it and you get past it and you understand it, you put in the reps. I mean, now I'm talking to you I built a custom house, thankfully, and custom media office. And, I
So yeah,
don't mean to
the
like
house that SAS built. I
the
remember the
house
post.
that SAS
I
built.
remember
That's
the
right.
post very well in the high level community. It was awesome.
So, and it's not because I'm brilliant. It's not. It's just because I didn't give up. That's it, really.
I think like your story there is one of perseverance and also giving value. Again, I'll go back to what I was saying there before. It's like you didn't
Yeah.
know. I don't mean this in the wrong way, but like you didn't know what you were doing and you recognized that. So you went, I need to figure out what I'm doing. So I'm going to go and talk to these
Yeah.
people. And also you were obviously very vocal in what you were doing, telling people from the sounds of that, like because you were talking to, your accountant and you mentioned someone else and then the chiropractor and just kind of
Yep.
telling them what you were doing and just say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. And I guess from that, I would imagine, and having spoken to you a little bit, that you came across very sincere about that to people as well. Like just being honest about what you were trying to do. I can just imagine you would have been in that way. And people will resonate with that as well. If you tell them that you're trying to do something, people like to try and help people that are being honest and genuine and sincere. So they probably wanted
Yeah.
to give you a bit of a shot, whether you're doing it for free or not or whatever. They're like, okay, this sounds interesting. Like you're trying to figure these things out. Could you help me to do it as well? And I think that's always a
Yeah.
good approach. You've got to be very honest with people as well. You're not trying to hustle them. You're not trying to like, there's a point where you've got to try and make money out of your business at a point in time,
Right.
right?
Right.
But you need to be honest and customer focused first, I think. If you have your customer in mind and the best for them first, you will get the rewards yourself, right? Would you agree with that in like your approach to doing things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's in any business, whether it's the SaaS business or in the custom motorcycle business. Could you imagine if I just went to someone who liked motorcycles and I had never built one before, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to build you a motorcycle. I've never done it before, but I'm going to figure it out, and you'll be safe on it. Don't you worry, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's only $50,000. What do you say? I'll give you, no. And the same thing, like you have to practice. You have to, right? But if you're delivering value, you get to do the practice. And when you get to do the practice, you learn where your deficiencies are, where you need to improve and how to do the stuff, which gives you more confidence and you do a better job for future customers that come along.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you go into, because like that's a very quick overview of several years of a story, right?
Yeah.
And then you got
Yeah.
to the bit where like you ended up niching into Cairo, pretty much. I
Yeah.
think that was kind of what really
On
scaled you up
accident. I would never do it again.
on accident. But tell us more about how you managed to scale that, because you mentioned that you got like 15, 20, 25, and end up at like
Yep.
700 odd accounts, right? How did
So
Dar,
here's what
the
no,
the
we
motor
didn't get
the
that
motorbike
far.
guy, how did Dar, the motorbike guy, who was
Yeah.
building all this custom stuff, manage to
Yeah.
figure out and systemize that to scaling into hundreds of sub accounts with chiropractors? Like, what did you do to get to that so you could systemize and productize that?
Yeah. Man, it was layering one lesson on top of another, really. There were different courses that I took along the way. Also, here's like a little side note for people. I was so committed. This is where like I was committed that I had to make a change in my life. There was a course that my first like expensive course to take. It was $9,000. I sold my vehicle to take that course. And I mean, we had two vehicles in the family, but I sold my truck to take that course. And I learned several things from that course, but um, but I did not put them right into action because of imposter syndrome. Ironically, I recently kind of stumbled across my little webinar I built, the stuff I built from that initial course way back when that I didn't put in. And I looked at it like knowing the stuff I know now. I'm like, that's pretty good, right? And and it would have done well then, but I didn't take action on it because of imposter syndrome. But
Why,
yeah,
why did you feel like you had imposter syndrome, Dar? Why did you
we
feel
all
like that?
do. I still do today.
Yeah.
Sure. Um, I mean, I have more confidence in myself today, but it's just like, I think we all have an element of it. Um, here's the thing. What I took that course to do was I was going to coach people because I had a failing business. Before I had the bike business, actually, there's another part of the story. In my 30s, I started a visual merchandising company that was actually successful, but it was accidentally successful. I just didn't realize it at the time. I was in the right place at the right time. I worked hard. I did all the stuff. It was about a little over a $3 million a year business with like 3, 4 employees. And we built store fixtures for retailers in the United States. Did screen printing and their sign holders and store fixtures and all that stuff. And so I would design all that stuff, and then we would job it out, get it manufactured at various manufacturers around the U.S., have it all come to one central location, have it kit packed, and then drop shipped to all the retailers. Like, Bombay Company was my big one back then, but they went bankrupt, and that kind of started my demise on that business. But then I was in the bike business for 12 years of just grinding out. And so I took this course and I was like, I'm going to coach people, entrepreneurs on like what not to do and what to do. Because I've been both. I've been successful in my early 30s and I've been struggling for the last 12 years, like a failing business. So I'm like, I'm going to show them the way. And, but I never did because I'm like, who am I to teach these people how to do entrepreneur stuff when I can't keep my business going? And so that's where the imposter syndrome came in. So I
Mm.
didn't do anything with that course, but I learned how to build funnels and I learned automations and other and how to, slide decks, things like that.
Yeah. Quick question, just going back. How's your wife now? Do you ever remind her about that $600 shirt that you had? Just kind of told you it was worth it, love.
No, here's a little side note about my wife, who is amazing. Um, she just by virtue of, when we got married, she didn't have to work. I had my first business. Things were going great. She was a stay-at-home mom. And then when we found ourselves in the bike business and struggling, like she had to come help in the bike business. So for 10 years, she was running a bike business, like
Mm.
doing the purchasing, doing the invoicing, talking to vendors, talking to customers. And I can assure you that was not her dream job, right? But she got up and went to the shop every day and did that. And so I feel like she's earned the right now to do whatever the hell she wants. She doesn't have to do anything. And so once this has kind of took off, I'm like, you just find your fulfillment, do whatever you want to do. And I'm doing this high level stuff and I'm going to high level events and I'm like, yeah, and she's like, those. I mean, she's glad that we're doing good. But she's like, I don't know about those, all those happy rah rah people. She thinks it's like a Tony Robbins event.
Yeah.
And but over the last couple of years, she's gotten in to high level and helping me with the business. And and now she helps me with my community and she goes to high level events. She's like, these people are amazing. I can't believe that Sean and Robin and Varun and everyone, they're just so nice. They're real people. They actually talk to you, this billion-dollar company. They'll talk to anybody. So anyway, yeah,
Is
it's been a
it,
full circle.
Yeah, it's a great community. Side note for anyone watching this, either live now or later on the recording, like the community is amazing. Like I just came back
Yeah,
from for Patel and Michael Remer's AI event in Mexico.
great guys.
Yeah, great guys. And then there was a bunch of people there who are new agencies as well, who they literally just kind of stepped foot into the high level community in the last, month, 2, 3 months, whatever. And this is like the
Yeah,
first event that they'd come along to. And I had a few of them say to me, they go, we're so surprised about the people that are here and like how nice they are and the diversity of the people and just how friendly everybody is as well and how open they are to like sharing everything.
yeah,
Just go, hey, this
yeah,
is what
yeah,
I've done, this is what I did, this is what I got right, this is what I got wrong. They said they were just expecting this AI event. They said we just thought there'd be like just a bunch of geeks just sitting there like a laptop, just like nerding away.
yeah,
Um, but my wife has said a similar thing to me, and is that
yeah,
like I work at home, ran an agency for a long time, and now the high level community has become a big part of like my friendship group. You know, I
yeah,
I've actually got it'll be tomorrow. We have a little high level community in on the Sunshine Coast where I live, and we go and we
yeah.
catch up for lunch once a month.
Love it.
My friends are part of the high level community, and my wife's like, it's really cool. You've found your people. You know?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I think if you get along to those events, people as well, if you haven't been to any of the high level events, or I know there are meetups in different cities and stuff that people organize, definitely go and
Yeah,
go and meet your people. Like it will help you to with your journey in growing and finding your business and your place and everything as well. I think because they're just such nice people and so giving and generous. And like you
yeah.
said, Sean and Robin and Varun. I saw Sean the other day.
Hmm.
I was just scrolling through Facebook, and there was some comment in another high level spin-off community. It wasn't the high level
Hmm.
official one, it was another spin-off community. And someone had asked a question, and Sean was answering the question in this other community. I was
I
like,
don't know how he does it.
I don't know
I
how he
can't
does it.
keep
I
up
was
with
like,
it myself.
no,
I'm like, oh, it's overwhelming to try to keep up with all the comments and all. And sometimes I'll just like shut down because I'm still like got to do my thing, support my community, run my business. And it's I don't know how he does it, but he does it really well.
yeah, he is an absolute inspiration. Like we try and follow, I guess, the ethos of Sean and the way that he manages, promotes, thinks
Yeah,
about customers. It's like, okay, if we can just emulate that to the best of our ability, because I don't think we can do it as good as Sean, but I think that's a really good model to kind of follow along with. So, sorry, side note, segue away there, but
no,
that's
I could talk about these guys all day because they've been a huge inspiration for me. They are genuine people. So here's
Mm.
some stuff for you. When I got started, um, I think Sean was like the person who sold me in. Talked to Sean. He did like onboarding, sold me in. Um, I got confused and stuck on something technical like I did in the previous software that I was using. And and I was complaining. I have to be honest, I was complaining to some high level support about something I couldn't figure out. And Robin called me. Robin called me, helped me out, walked me through whatever it was. I forget what it was. And we found out that through that conversation, because I saw that their address, they were on Galloway Avenue in Mesquite, Texas. Well, I went to Mesquite High School in Texas, which is on Galloway Avenue. And I said, "You're in Mesquite?" And he said, "Yeah." And I so anyway, he went to high school at the high school that my mom taught at while my mom was there teaching. And I'm like, how about that? His family owned a radio stereo shop, also on Galloway Avenue, uh, that I bought my stereo from. My brothers bought their stereo from for their first cars. It was pretty wild. Anyway, Sean has, Robin has remained a friend, and he actually told me about SaaS, the concept of SaaS, before they ever had a SaaS model, before we ever knew what that was. Because I was kind of struggling with the chiropractor stuff, trying to run ads for them. I wasn't very good at it. And so we would churn people, get the people in, not get them results, churn them out. And so there was a Cairo event in Dallas, and Robin was like, "Hey, come on by the office. We'll have lunch." And, I'm like, "Okay." So when I go to Dallas for the chiropractor event, I swing by the high level office. He tours me around, and he's telling me about this SaaS model. He was like, you just deliver these core elements that their business needs, like ads and other things are an accelerant, and those are good things, but they have to have these core things, right? That are like a utility bill, like their light bill, and so forth. And you charge less, than what you would for ads, but they don't turn it off as long as you're delivering that thing. So I learned this SaaS concept for Robin. He was like, "We have something coming," but we built. And then shout out to Nathan Shearer, who's in Australia.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Nathan helped me build. Actually, Nathan built my first like SaaS configurator in his system that we had
yep.
connected to high level. And I think roughly my first 150 something clients, 180 something clients went through Nathan Shearer's system.
Okay.
Uh,
Shout out to
But
Nathan.
okay, so back to the Cairo event. Here's another thing. When I'm there, Robin's like, "Okay, so what are you doing for the event? What do you like? What's your offer?" Like we were figured some stuff out. I'm like, "Okay, here's what our offer is." He says, "What about your annual plan?" I'm like, "What do you mean annual plan?" He goes, You have to offer an annual plan?" And this was a whole new concept to me. He said, because I don't know if high level was that. I don't know, but I told you I'm a slow learner. He said, "You need to go to this event and you need to offer them an annual plan with maybe 1 or 2 months free, something else bundled in, but they have to buy it like this weekend, or if they buy it like within a week." I'm like, "Oh, okay." This was on a Friday night. Event started Saturday. So I work up something Friday night, event starts Saturday, and we sold $62,000 in cash that weekend because of annual plans.
Wow.
True story.
Yeah.
So
And that helps with
anyway,
the churn a lot as well, right? If you get people on an annual
helps with the
plan.
churn. So, Robin has just always been there. Sean, same thing, has always been there. They're just great humans. And it helps that they're really smart too. But I think that great human element to them, same with Varun, is why the company is seeing the success it has, because it's modeled by their employees.
Yeah. But by them and then feedback as well from the community. Like they're always listening. Always listening, I
Oh
feel.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they
for
just
sure.
they want to build the features that everybody says that they want and need for their businesses.
Hmm.
So you mentioned now so you're coaching other people now. We'll drop if you give us the link to it, we'll drop it in the chat, or we'll make sure that it's
Sure,
below
sure.
in the video. If you're watching this on a replay, it'll be above, below, left or
Do you
right,
want me to
somewhere
put
in
it
this
in the
video.
chat?
Yeah, if you drop it in the chat there, if you don't mind, Camilla will grab that and we'll make sure that we share that with this recording as well. So if anyone wants to join that, Dar has a free community. You can go along.
Here's a
Dar will,
funny little thing I see in the chat. I just opened the chat up. Enoch says a question. Funny enough, was I an American Chopper? So I'll tell you this. Funny enough, I know Paul Tuttle Sr. Are you talking about like the TV show, the Discovery Show Chopper? So, yeah, we built different kind of bikes. Like they built parade floats. I was never a fan of their bikes, but they were selling a TV show. Like I would build bikes that you could ride. Uh, Paul Puddle Tuttle would reach out to me, would I please make some parts for him when I started designing parts. So even a couple of years after I was out of the bike business, I would still get messages from him like, "Hey, can I design some parts for him that they would sell as their American Chopper parts?" But I just never did because we had two different sort of design philosophies. Um, but yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I was all,
Oh, I think you're all frozen. Come back to us, Dar. Lost you. Oh no, you were
oh,
all something and then you froze. You said I was all, and then you went
oh yeah,
static.
I was all over. I mean, all over the world in the bike stuff. Um, but it just seems like a whole different life of it was wild. Like doesn't even seem real at times, and yet I pull up the photos and I'm like, oh, over the over the Christmas holiday actually, or the Thanksgiving holiday, I got a random call. I'm out in my garage, I'm doing some stuff, and I get a call from a woman, left a voicemail for me. Um, I won't tell you her name, but she says, "Hey, this is so and so calling for Usher Raymond." I'm like, "Hmm." And we built a bike for Usher, the singer, in 2013. They still had my mobile number. His personal assistant called me. It was like, "Yeah, he'd like to get his like bike. He hasn't ridden it in a couple years, and he wants to get it like all done up. And can you do it?" I'm like, "No, I can't. I can't do it. I don't do it anymore. But I'll hook you up with a good shop in Los Angeles to take care of it." It's just wild. I'm like, oh,
Nice. Good
yeah.
connections, mate. Well, we're getting near to the end of our time, mate. So I want to open this up. So if anyone's got any questions, if you want to drop them in the chat and stuff, or if you want to put your hand up to ask any questions, think about something you might want to ask Dar. We've got him, or you can go and join his community, and there's some great information in there because you're helping agencies now to either launch, grow, or scale wherever they're at. When we talked about this briefly before we started this conversation today, but why is it you think that now is like the perfect time to launch your SaaS agency? Well, we talked about being a blue ocean still.
Yeah. Here's why. I think back to when I was um, in my bike business and all the things that I tried to use to run the bike business, a CRM, some sort of a website, some sort of marketing. So, right, High Level has all these things for a business, and either the business itself can get a high level account and learn how to use this, or you as an agency owner can do this for them, right? And but the thing is they need it. Now here we are with the advent of AI, which has just been around a couple years.
Mm,
There are almost every business owner I talk to, they don't know about it. Like they know AI, they know ChatGPT, but they don't know that it can answer calls for them. They don't know that it can answer chats for them, and hold conversations, right, without being scripted like a phone tree when you call, you know, your mobile carrier and they're like, is this for home internet or is this for your
yeah.
mobile phone? Yeah, right. Local businesses don't know that this can happen. So there's a huge opportunity where it can help local businesses maximize their lead engagement, right? They have a leaky bucket of people who are already looking for them, but they're not engaging with them. The thing is, there's an adoption rate issue, and I'll kind of compare this to online purchasing. As we've gone through different technological, growths in our industry in the world, right? I remember when online purchasing came about, and I'm like, I'm not putting my credit card in that computer. No way. I don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to get my credit card? I don't know. Now everybody has my credit card. High Level has my credit card. Amazon has my you name it, everyone, right? Online purchasing is just the way the world works. I firmly believe AI is going to be the same thing. AI agents. Every business, in a matter of time, is going to have them. And AI is so shockingly good now that I think now is the sort of the gold rush, like the opportunity to get market share. Because a prompt that I might have written 6 months ago and put in a business for business, that same prompt unchanged is so much better today than it was 6 months ago, just because the large language model AIs have just gotten better, right? And so when you set up something for a business, their AI agent, and and it's answering questions, just doing its thing, the chance of someone else coming along, or maybe they already have it, and come up to them and you're pitching them your AI stuff, and like, mine's better than theirs, mine can do this, they're like, no, we're good, thank you, right? Once they already have it, they're not going to turn it off, if it's doing what it's supposed to do. And so now is the time to be the person who introduces it to them, not the person
Yeah.
who's trying to take it away from someone else. But they have to experience it. I believe in order for them to like take that step to give it a try, they have to experience it first. And that's where you have to like make personalized demos for them, maybe give them free trials where I wouldn't have given people free trials in the past. I would do it now just to gain as much market share as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Juan's got his hand up, mate. Well, if you want to unmute yourself there, Juan, you can ask your question
Okay.
today.
Oh, can you hear me?
I
Yes,
can,
mate.
yes.
Okay. Oh, hi, Doc. Yeah, I just had a question. I'm starting out. I do feel identify with Dar and so many things. I've been an entrepreneur a long time ago. Nothing with anything relation with agency or nothing like that. I was doing seminars for offline seminars, B2B
Yeah.
seminars, and yeah, things didn't go well, and then I'm starting from zero again. And but I so I want I right now I'm working with my wife with a, university agency. That's basically the guinea pig to start an AI agency. So I'm just
Hmm.
basically learning all the stuff, like you say. It's hard to. It's so I'm not technical, so it's really hard to learn all those. It's easy to say, but it's really hard to get through all those technical stuff to learn.
Yeah.
But 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 I'm really interested in AI agency. I think that's like you said, there's a lot of potential. And
Yeah.
but I just want to know what's when when you're starting out and you say, yeah, you have to give away free stuff and things like that. What's a really good idea to for example, start with one small niche or start over just giving away free stuff to different types of niches or what's the best way to really get some traction?
I'd say the best way initially is just talk to businesses that you already frequent, right? Like I go to the bakery down the street. I go in the bakery and I get my croissants, I get my cronuts, my donuts, and all that stuff. Let's like talk to them. Hey, when you all are, making all these baked goods, do you ever miss phone calls? Oh man, that phone stops ringing. We can't get to them. Oh, so what happens, right? Do people come to your website and ask questions? Yeah. Well, I have an AI agent that can handle that for you. I tell you what, I'm going to build it for you and let you try it out, and you tell me what you think. And if you think it's something that's valuable to your business, we'll just install it in your business. You give it a try for 14 days, 30 days, and just give me real world feedback. I think you're going to see that it's going to bring value to your business, help you engage with more customers, give you some of your time back so you can focus on making the baked goods. And you know, it, I want to check in with you though. I want your world feedback so I can improve it, not just for you, but for other people. If you found value in it, then I want a testimonial from you, right? And then after you go free for a little while, those initial customers, and there's no magic number. It can be, people call them beta customers. It can be 3, it can be 5, it can be 10. Just tell them, hey, look, as we roll this out, there are a handful of customers that are going to be a part of our pilot program of this new feature that we're offering, and so to be a part of that pilot program, in addition to the 30 days free or 15 days or whatever you do, I'm going to give it to you half price for a certain period of time. Like the next 6 months or whatever, right? Give them something in exchange for letting, they've taken a risk on you. But just businesses that you already go to, right? That's where I would start first. By the way, I want to say hello and a shout out to Mr. Billy Henry, who's on the call. Billy, it's good to see you. Billy is a part of my community and just an amazing human. And I know that I owe you a phone call, and I will connect with you, sir. Thanks for your patience. I've been extremely slammed these last few days, so I'll be reaching out to you.
There you go, Billy. We've got that recorded, Billy, as well. So like, you're good.
Oh, wait, wait, wait. Yeah. No, I absolutely
I
stand by it. I want to talk to Billy. He's such an amazing guy.
I'll just say as well, there's probably people listening to this thinking about, I've got to set up these free demos for people and then build their AI and set that up and train it and do all that. And if people don't know this now, there are tools out there that will basically do that off basically just feeding in the URL for the business. You can kind of automate this whole thing as well. So it actually isn't that hard to put together these AI demos as people might be thinking. You can go and find the tools like where I was in at the AI Unleashed. There's Thinker, the guys there that do a phone receptionist. There's an add-on that will plug into high level. At least you just like
Yeah.
put the URL in for the website of the business, and then it will just learn automatically off of that. And it's not going to be perfect out the bat because there's going to be some things that maybe it doesn't know, or you have to train them up. But you can get these things working, 90 plus percent
Yeah.
within 5 minutes work. You've got Closebot as well. They've got their AI test agents as well.
Mhm.
There's multiple ones out there. So, find your service or whatever it might be, and you'll be surprised that it's not actually that hard to set up these automated AI demos for people as some people might be thinking.
Right. And then also just a reality check for people. I know a lot of people go to, like, you finish high school, then you go to next for your degree at university, right? My daughter is in university right now, and you'll spend 4 years learning how to do something. 4 years plus the money we're paying for it. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much it is, but it's good for her because she's going to be in the medical profession. But for people who just go to get like a general degree, a business degree, a marketing degree, you've spent 4 years learning how to do something. You get out, make an okay wage working for someone else. Now think about if you spent half that time, 2 years learning high level, right? Um, like I'm telling you, the money is, you
I
just
was
apply it. It's mind blowing.
I was having this conversation last night with my 8-year-old. I was like, mate, because he loves axolotls. I was like, mate, we could just make a load of AI axolotl videos about tips for
You could.
axolotls doing things. And if we
My
just
daughter
start
loves
building,
axolotls too.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, if we start building that now, like in
Hmm.
2 years' time, I don't know how much you'll make, but you could be making some decent money off of that by the time you're 10. But unfortunately, my 8-year-old with his 8-year-old brain went, I'm going to work for 2 years before I get paid. I don't want to do that. I'm going to revisit that one with him and just go, mate, I'll sit with
Yeah.
you and do it a little bit. But you're exactly right. Because, yeah, literally, I was having that conversation last night with my area because I thought about that. I was like, if he just starts doing that, if I teach him some of the stuff that I know we can do now, which is very easy to make these little short videos, it would not be hard for him to just start creating and building his own little faceless YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And in a couple of years' time, I don't know what he could make, $500, $1,000 a month. I don't know, maybe
Oh
more,
yeah.
whatever.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
it's just something that he could do. And imagine that at 10 years old, if like I say, even if he was making $1,000, I mean, you could make more. There's people making so much money off of YouTube now; it's crazy, right? But
True.
I'd like to temper his expectations, right?
Yeah.
But imagine that, you're
Well, he's
making a
8. Tell him
thousand,
he can make $10,
yeah.
right?
So I think
$5.
that would be amazing. So
Um,
you're absolutely right in that, man.
by the way,
Um,
thank you, Georgia, for your kind words. We're continuing to learn how to deliver for people. Um,
yeah,
that's always a,
I was just going
personal.
to go through these for you, mate. There, so getting a few
Yeah.
questions in the chat there for you.
How
Um,
do you,
So yeah, George's giving a little shout out since she went through Dar's program a year ago, so very helpful. So if you're worried about the tech side of AI, don't worry about it. Go through with Dar, and as Dar says, he's a self-confessed non-techie who's succeeded in this area. So great person
I'm
to
still
talk to.
learning how to do stuff. I was up last night, well, over the weekend, learning how to do stuff because high level releases things so fast. I'm like, oh, I got to figure it out. Right?
Every day is a school day, mate, right?
Yeah.
Iris, how do you think AI fits in the financial industry insurance portfolios?
Well, I would say any question like that is a loaded question if I don't have experience in that. So I don't have experience in the insurance industry or the financial industry. And so I don't know what compliance you have to deal with. When I was in the chiropractic industry, and this kind of goes to I think I saw another one asked
Yeah,
about compliance.
oh,
It went
was
away.
it just,
Was it there?
it just disappeared. There was
Well,
something,
whatever it was.
I saw it. Yeah, Enoch, he deleted it
Okay.
because it's
So
the same.
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
compliance.
I had to earlier when I said I went into the chiropractic accidentally. I'm just like people, my chiropractor's like, "Will you do this?" I'm like, "Sure," right? I didn't know I'd have to be HIPAA compliant. I didn't know that the chiropractors used almost all of them use an EHR software or EMR, right? Electronic Health Records software, which is their primary software. So it was just expected that we integrate with that, right? So there were additional levels of compliance and complexity and all that we had to do. Like, so personally, I'm staying out of those. Like now that it's sold, there are much easier games to play. Find an industry where you don't have to integrate into their software, or you don't have to be HIPAA compliant or whatever. But if you are an expert in that industry, whether it's the financial industry or the insurance industry, and you have an in that, like you have a group of people that you have influence or you can get, then it makes sense for you to help them. Um, there are all kinds of problems that you can solve with them, from the feature set and high level, especially now with AI attached to it.
Thing with those industries as well, if there's compliance and challenges around it, there's potential to be able to charge accordingly, right? You
That's true.
definitely want to be
Yeah.
thinking about charging accordingly for those things if there's complexities around integrations and stuff like that.
And my
Iris,
question is more my question is more about how the audience feel with AI versus a real person.
I'm so sorry,
In
Iris, I
that in
froze.
do you want to just repeat that
sorry?
again, Iris? Do you mind? Dar said he just froze it. Do you mind just repeating your question?
No, my question is my point is how the people feel with AI in the financial industry versus a real person.
Here's what I would tell you. Um, I would say first and foremost, you can't predict what someone how they feel about it. I could say my guess is many of those businesses are going to have like their defenses up. Like, no, no, no. AI's taken over the world. I'm not ready for that. Or they haven't seen it enough. It's not like mainstream yet. They're not going to like, oh, I'm not going to turn something over to a computer that a human can do. And so they need to experience it. That's why we do personalized demos for people where they can see the AI working in their business on a prompt written for their business so they can have that epiphany like, oh, I didn't realize they could do that. And then the other thing is your options are no engagement or some engagement, right? And so if they're like, no AI for me, I'm just going to stick with humans. Well, what happens after hours? Like when someone calls after hours, who does it go to voicemail? And then what happens when you call a place and it goes to voicemail and you need something? Do you just hang up and try the next in line? Right. And so an AI agent, even if it doesn't sound perfectly human, and they're getting really good, even if it doesn't sound perfectly human, it's answering someone's question. It's taking them the next step where, getting them the information they need as opposed to nothing. And so that is what I tell prospects in business. Hey, look, what's like you have a leaky bucket now. People trying to reach you nights and weekends, and it goes nowhere. And then, you got to call them back or they don't leave a message, as opposed to an AI agent that can answer the call, be empathetic, greet them, get the information they need, So that's what I would have to say.
Did that answer your question right for yours? All right, awesome. Thank you, Dar. Enoch is putting another one for you here, mate. It says, for the chiropractor, what if we just create their own high-level account, not an agency account, so we don't worry about HIPAA compliance? I have a chiro who wants voice AI. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. So I guess you're saying, yeah, if you give them their own high-level account rather than being under you, do you
Yep.
not need to worry about them having HIPAA compliance if they own the account?
Yeah, they're still going to have to be HIPAA. So if you're
Mm,
like, oh, just get your own, well, so here's the thing about HIPAA. You have your cost for a high level account. Let's say they just get their own, like $97. Okay, great. Then they've got their AI on top of that. So now it's another $97 for your $200. Then you have to have the HIPAA encrypted version of high level software, which is another $300 a month. And once you turn it on, you cannot turn it off. So now we're at $500 a month right there. And then that's just to have it. Who's going to make it work? If you're going to make it work, they need to pay you, right? What's your time worth? Is it 200, 300 a month, 400 a month? So that's where we're at with that.
And if you did that in your own account, you've got if you did it as an agency rather than letting them set their own one, you're going to pay that 300, the HIPAA compliance part, and then your entire agency account is now HIPAA compliant, isn't it? I believe.
That is correct.
So
So
you would be better off doing it yourself because now you can offer HIPAA compliant accounts to other chiropractors,
that
right?
is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, the first two, three clients, it's like, oh man, I'm spending $900 a month in high level. Oh man. But at 100 clients, it's like, oh, this is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Even at 20 clients, at 30 clients.
Yeah. To figure out what that break-even cost is for having that HIPAA compliance in, maybe you have to front load it a bit for the first few clients and you're charging them that $500 anyway, just for their account. Say, yep, we'll make sure it's HIPAA compliant. You got your voice, you've got your account. It's $500 a
Mhm.
month just for your service. And now you actually have a HIPAA compliant high level white label, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to go. I don't know if we've got any other questions. Anyone else wants to put their hand up or put another question in the chat there? If we don't, I'm just going to ask. We'll wrap this up then. If we don't have any more questions, guys, is there anything there that you would do differently on your journey so that maybe you avoided some of the mistakes that we've all made along the way? Anything different that
Yeah.
you would do that you might advise people,
Ooh,
or is it all
differently,
just part of the journey?
I would say I moved slow. I
Mhm.
moved deliberately, but I moved slow. Um, so I would say move fast, break stuff fast, learn, you'll get feedback fast. Don't be afraid to lose customers. Um, the only way you're going to get more customers is by becoming good at what you do. The only way you're going to become good at what you do is by doing a lot of it, making mistakes. And so get out there, get clients, go, just go get your clients and don't be afraid to make mistakes. But be honest with them. Like, hey, look, if we're human and we will possibly make mistakes here and there. When that happens, please give me immediate feedback so we can respond and take care of you right then. Right. And people appreciate that when you're honest with them right up front about that on onboarding or whenever you have those conversations. But you're going to lose some customers along the way. And it's going to take losing some customers and learning those lessons that you can apply to future customers. So that's people want it to be perfect before and they just never go get customers. Or they just kind of creep along, still building their thing, So that's
Like imperfect action. Matt Dizino, who you mentioned earlier, I think that's one of his favorite sayings. Just take imperfect
yeah,
action. Just do something.
absolutely.
Awesome, man. Well, look, Dar, thank you so much. I'm glad we finally got to do this. We've been in discussions for a good while, actually, to try and get you in here, mate. But thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming in, mate. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you for
Man, the
everybody
honor is
else.
all mine.
Thank you, mate. And mate, guys, everybody go and join Dar's community. The link is in the chat there for you if you're on here now. If you're not on here, you're watching this recorded, there'll be a link below here. Go join Dar's community. He has got some gold nuggets. He's been there and done it. It's gone from start to scale to selling. And it's an amazing journey. And congratulations on everything you've done, Dar. Well done, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Take care.